Hey, what's up, everybody? Just want to do another video with all the update information on RGBA with all their fighters and all their stable. Just this week announced that RGBA will be opening up a location in Central California in the city of Selma, just north of Fresno. It has been mentioned on social media that Al Perez is going to be the operator along with the family of Evan Sanchez. And then I have a picture of here of Al Perez. He's ex-owner of the Main Events gym. And there's a picture next to Robert as well. So that's exciting news. RGBA has a facility in Riverside. They have a facility in San Antonio. And now they're expanding to Central Valley, California, the Fresno area. And then we just had on Fox on Saturday, before the PBC cards, there was a press conference between Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence. We're only roughly 4 weeks away, so there's mentioning of ramping up sparring for Mikey, and they looked a lot closer in height and in size this time. Clearly, Errol is bigger and from 147, but Mikey for being 135, it looked a lot closer from in comparison to the other press conference in Fox about 2 months ago. The most important thing that I've heard this week in terms of this fight was Virgil Hunter. He was interviewed and he said that Mikey should fight Spence on fight night at his prime sparring weight. Whatever his best sparring weight is during training, whether that be 141, 145, or 147, that's what he suggests Mikey weigh the day of the fight versus Spence. Virgil Hunter is a very experienced trainer. He trained Amir Khan to go up and fight Canelo, so he has trained fighters to move up multiple divisions. Amir Khan is a 147 fighter, and he moved up 154 up to 160 to fight Canelo. So it was very interesting. I haven't heard anybody else say that. Tons of people have given their opinion, tons of fighters, tons of trainers, but Virgil Hunter clearly has a very experienced and a very knowledgeable opinion about this Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. Here is one of his sparring partners, Alfredo Escarcega, 7-0. He's from Arizona. Clearly, there's no update on Abner Mares. He had a detached retina and had to pull out of the Tank Davis fight. We have not seen him. He's been not very active on social media. Hopefully, he's recovering well. Josecito Lopez is clearly taking some time off after his fight with Keith one-time Thurman, and there are rumors of a possible fight with Adrian Broner next. So Josecito Lopez, Riverside Rocky, 38-7. Jose Carlos Ramirez, he won a 12-round decision versus Jose Cepeda, so he advances to 24-0 with 16 knockouts. I think the crowd was a little bit over 14,000 there at the Save Mart in Fresno, so a very successful event put on by his manager and Top Rank. I believe Rick Merizian is his manager, along with Top Rank. So definitely a huge event on a Sunday with the theme to knock out cancer. Jose Carlos Ramirez, 24-0 with 16 knockouts. Brandon Bam Bam Rios, it is fight week for him. He will be fighting on Saturday in Tijuana in el Municipal next to Casino Caliente. He is 35-4-1. His opponent is La Zorrita Soto, and Team Rios is now Oxnard Cuate, a longtime friend of Robert Garcia, and then also a trainer that goes by his social media is _RebelFit, and Young Quicks has been seen multiple times traveling with Brandon Bam Bam Rios. So it's fight week for Bam Bam. Esquiva Falcao has arrived. This will be his second week, I believe. He is a 160-pound top-ranked fighter, so he is being used to prep Mikey Garcia for Errol Spence, and he has a fight date of March or April. Eric De Leon, 18-0 with one draw. That was a draw in March of 2018 at the StubHub versus Andy Vences. He's recovering from a dislocated shoulder in his fight in September in the fall of 2018, so we have no updates on him. Joshua El Profesor Franco has been very active in the gym. He had to pull out of his January 26th date. He was sick, so he did not get to fight on that Houston card. He is promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. He was programmed to fight along with stablemate Virgil Ortiz. Hector Tanajara has been seen in the gym. Here he is with his trainer, Robert Garcia. He is scheduled to fight with Bam Bam Rios in Tijuana. He fights at 135. He's a Golden Boy promoted fighter, and he is fighting Ivan Striker Delgado for the I think it's the WBC Youth title. Delgado is 13-1-2, and Hector Tanajara is 16-0 with 5 knockouts. I believe this is a 10-round fight. His last fight in Indio for Hector was a 10-round fight. I believe his opponent was Robert Manzanares. So Hector Tanajara, fight week in Tijuana. Jonathan Thunder Navarro, 16-0, 8 knockouts. He's from East LA. No updates on him. Carlos Lincona suffered his first loss yesterday on the PBC event in the Microsoft Theater. He clearly lost his IBF strawweight title, and I believe he had the WBO Latino title as well. So congratulations to DJ Creel. He is now the new champion. I believe he got knocked down twice in the 12th round, and BoxRec said something about some California rules. I have not gotten any details, but he did suffer a loss. And he did go on after the televised fights, which was Omar Figueroa versus John Molina, and Leo Santa Cruz versus his opponent. Virgil Ortiz, 12-0, 12 knockouts. One of the best. I wouldn't even call him a prospect anymore. I call him a contender. His dad feels that he could get any title at 140. Anybody with the title, he is hoping that they get into the ring with Virgil this year, 2019. His last fight was January 26th in Houston. They didn't even know who his opponent was going to be. It was rumored that it was going to be Saul Corral, but last minute they switched it, and he ended up fighting a southpaw on the fly. He didn't even know his opponent was going to. He didn't train for a southpaw opponent, but he still made the adjustments, and in either 3, 4, or 5 rounds, he took care of business. Virgil Ortiz from Grand Prairie, the Dallas area, Texas. He's promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. Joseph Adorno, 11-0, 10 knockouts. He has a fight date of March 17th. His opponent is Adriano Ramirez. This is a 6-round fight. Joseph Adorno, he is trained by his dad, and he is part of Team RGBA. I believe either Pita or Robert has been in his corner all of his fights except for one. And then one of the latest additions to Team RGBA is John Bauza. He goes by El Terrible. He's 11-0 with 5 knockouts. He is a top-ranked fighter, and he is now training at RGBA Riverside. His fight date is March 17th at the Madison Square Garden. His opponent is 10-7-2, Angel Sarinana. It's a 6-round fight. Alejandro Porkchop Guerrero, we have not heard from him lately, and he is scheduled to fight the night before Mikey Garcia fights Errol Spence. So he has a fight date of March 15th in Dallas. That will be a event promoted by Garcia Promotions. So Alejandro Porkchop Guerrero, 9-0. He is from Irving, Texas. So he's also from the Dallas area, 9-0, 7 knockouts. I believe he fights at 135. Louis Coria has been moved from Prospects Collide 2.0 over to the March 16th. So he's going to be on the Mikey undercard in Dallas, in Arlington, Texas versus Errol Spence. So now the event by Garcia Promotions on April 26th on a Friday looks like the headliner will be B-Fly. So Louis Coria, 10-2-0. There was rumors of Robert trying to get his last loss, getting that a rematch versus Tomas Valdez, but we have not heard any more details on that. Genaro El Conde Games from San Diego, 8-0, 5 knockouts. His fight was canceled. It was scheduled for February 9th. And this is what he posted on Instagram. Las cosas no pasaron como las esperaba. Los últimos días de mi preparación, pero solo quiero decirles que por algo pasan las cosas, regresaré más fuerte. So Genaro Games had to pull out of his fight in Indio. Misael El Chino Rodriguez, 9-0, 4 knockouts. He won his fight January 26th in La Ciudad Guzmán, Guadalajara. And he is promoted by Ringstar Sports, by Richard Schaefer's Ringstar Sports. Jesse Bam Rodriguez also added to the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence fight card. So March 16th is his next fight. He's been in the gym. He is 8-0, 4 knockouts. He is promoted by Tekken Promotions and represents RGBA San Antonio. He is the little brother to Joshua Franco. Lindolfo Delgado, 8-0, 8 knockouts. Won his fight in spectacular fashion January 13th. He is also promoted by Richard Schaefer's Ringstar Sports. Brandon Bulletproof Glanton, 8-0, 7 knockouts. He won his fight January 26th. He was on the undercard of Josecito Lopez at the Barclays Center. I don't know what weight he's fighting at. He was at cruiserweight, and I'd have to go back and look at BoxRec and see what his official weight, but it sounds like he might be as low as super middleweight. So Brandon Bulletproof Glanton, I believe he's from Atlanta, Georgia, 8-0, 7 knockouts under the banner of Mikey Garcia Promotions. Manuel Flores, there was rumors that he would fight on Prospects Collide 1.0, but that fell through. He is 7-0, 5 knockouts. I believe he's from the Coachella area. He's promoted, but he is managed by Robert Garcia's longtime friend Cameron Duncan. Manuel Flores goes by Gucci Manny on social media. Isidro Ochoa was improves to 7-0 with 3 knockouts. He was on the undercard of Jose Carlos Ramirez versus Jose Cepeda. He's a southpaw fighter, and he was the main sparring partner for Abner Mares in gearing up for his fight versus Tank Davis, which Mares had to pull out of with a detached retina. So Isidro Ochoa, 7-0, 3 knockouts. Brian Lua, another top-ranked fighter. Isidro Ochoa is promoted by Top Rank, and so is Brian Lua, 5-0, 2 knockouts. We do not have any updates on Brian Lua. It sounds like he might be recovering from a hand injury. Aaron Morales, the most active fighter from RGBA in 2018. He had 5 fights in 9 months. He pro debuted in March of 2018. So he was very, very, very active. Won all his fights. He got 3 knockouts. His last fight was in Oklahoma City, I believe in November. We have not seen him in December, and we didn't see much of him in January, but it sounds like he is back at RGBA Riverside training. Aaron Morales. He is seems like he's being groomed to fight on Top Rank, but there's a rumor that he might be fighting on the PBC card in Arlington, Texas, on the Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence card. So we'll see what's in the future for Aaron Morales. Ray Danger Murataya, he is back on. He got the knockout of the night on Prospects Collide 1.0. He is from Fontana, California. He's a local fighter, and he is scheduled to fight again on Prospects Collide 2.0, which is on a Friday, April 26th. It's rumored that it's going to be in the same location at the Club Center events right there in San Bernardino. So Ray Danger Murataya improved to 6-0 in January, and now he is scheduled to fight again April 26th. Opponent to be determined. Ruben Rodriguez, 4-0, 2 knockouts. He is being moved very, very fast. He just fought in January on a PBC event, and now he's on another PBC event on March 9th on Porter versus Ugas at the Dignity Health Park, formerly known as the Stub Hub. So Ruben Rodriguez from the Coachella Valley being moved very fast. He fights at 140. Brinian B-Fly Macias, 3-0-1 with 2 knockouts. They've already listed Giovanni Noriega, who is 2-3-1, who was the draw that he fought against in January. It sounds like they're going to be doing the rematch. It sounds like they're going to be moving the fight from 4 rounds up to 6 rounds. So very exciting, and gives B-Fly a chance to redeem himself, as he let 2 of those 4 rounds clearly slip away. Here he is in a picture with his trainer Robert Garcia. Robert Biggie Rodriguez, he has a win over that opponent that B-Fly got a draw against, Giovanni Noriega. He is 2-0 with 0 knockouts. He might He might have been suffering an injury, but he's been, as it's seen in the picture on social media, he is active. He's in the gym at RGBA San Antonio. So Robert Biggie Rodriguez, also under the banner of Mikey Garcia Promotions. Um, Hopefully he either fights on the 15th or the 16th. I believe he fights at 112 flyweight. Isaac Colunga got a first round knockout at Prospects Collide 1.0. He is scheduled to fight on Prospects Collide 2.0 on April 26th. He's from Corona. I believe he's living in the San Bernardino area now. So a very decorated high school football star at Centennial High School in Corona. Isaac Colunga, I believe he fights at 130. So one of the prospects at RGBA Riverside. Manny Rodriguez, on social media, he goes by Manny Trey. This is the little brother of Ruben Rodriguez. I believe he's an amateur. I don't think he has any professional fights, but he goes by the nickname Baby, and he spars Jose Carlos Ramirez. Alexis El Macizo Espino. He is a very sought after prospect, amateur. He got signed by Robert to manage, and he will be pro debuting in Tijuana with Hector Tanajara and Bam Rodriguez. I believe he's going to start fighting at 168, but in the future might be fighting as low as 160. So here he is with David Benavides. This week they did some sparring, and that picture was taken at RGBA Riverside. So fight week is here for Alexis Espino. His pro debut will be in Tijuana. Evan Sanchez is a friend of Alexis Espino, and it sounds like his family will be part of the operations of the Central Valley RGBA. So he's 3-0 with 2 knockouts. He's a welterweight, and his Instagram is evansanchez_98. Eric Puente just pro debuted. He is from Vista. He has been seen at RGBA Riverside. He pro debuted at the Florentine Gardens in Hollywood, California. He fights at 140, and he was sparring Jose Carlos Ramirez. He is managed by David McWater. Eric Puente. So he's 1-0 now. Jeremy Magic Hands Adorno. This is Joseph Blessed Hands Adorno's little brother. His pro debut was postponed. It sounds like he's having surgery on one of his hands, and he posted that on his Instagram on January 6th. He is signed to Top Rank, just like his brother. Anthony the real Too Pretty Chavez, 7-0, 2 knockouts from San Bernardino. He is scheduled to fight on Prospects Collide 2.0. He is not officially part of RGBA Riverside. He trains with Henry Ramirez, but he is scheduled to fight on Prospects Collide 2.0. So it sounds like most of the fighters are from RGBA Riverside, but they're also inviting fighters from the local area to start to build them up and build their names at local events. Wesley Diana, 7-0, 6 knockouts. He's trained by middleweight champion Fernando Ferros Vargas. He is not part of RGBA Riverside, but there's a strong connection with the Garcias and Fernando Vargas, so I wanted to include him. Josue, the Prodigy Vargas, 14-1-0. He was previously promoted by Mayweather Promotions, and he did not re-sign with them, and he's now signed with Top Rank. So he has been in 2 camps. He has been in camp with RGBA Riverside his last 2 fights. So this will be his 3rd camp with RGBA Riverside. I think this last week or the week prior, he was seen on social media on ES News getting ready to spar Mikey Garcia for the first time. Josue fights at 140, so it was a good start to start having Mikey spar heavier guys. So he's clearly working his way up from 140 to 147 guys, even up to 160 guys. Mikey is with Esquiva Falcao. So Josue, the Prodigy Vargas, 14-1-0. That loss is a controversial loss where he hit somebody after the bell. So pretty much an undefeated fighter. Jose Maria Chema Delgado, 1-0 with 3 draws. He has a fight scheduled February 22nd in Culiacan, Sinaloa. Here he is, seen at RGBA Riverside. He no longer trains out of RGBA Riverside, but he is a friend of Team RGBA, so I thought I'd include him on the updates. And then I need to download a picture of Joseph Jacob Bonas, 4-0. He has a fight date of February 23rd. He has a very famous interview on ES News in Oxnard at RGBA Oxnard, where he had a lot of strong words for Mikey and for Robert and for the other fighters in the gym. So I thought I'd include him as well. He called Robert a couple months ago and said that he wanted to join the team again, but we have not heard from him. He has not. We have not heard any updates. So if we hear from him, I'll update it here on the website. So this is a tweet that I put out with 10 fights in January. They're 8-1-1, and now with Jose Carlos Ramirez win and Isidro Ochoa's, they advanced to 10-1-1. But now with Carlos Lincona's loss last night, the official record for Team RGBA for 2019 is 10-2-1, with the two losses being Lopez and now last night Lincona, and the draw being B-Flies. So 10-2-1. I want to give a photo credit to Crown Boxing for the I took I don't know if that flyer is Crown Boxing. I switched it. I found another one on social media, so I don't know if that's Crown Boxing anymore. And I also want to give photo credits to Cumbia, and you can find Cumbia. There's an underscore after that last day at CUMBIAA underscore. He is the official photographer for Team RGBA. So if you like the video, please like and subscribe. You can find me on YouTube, Sonteo Media. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, at Sonteo_media. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I got some videos on there about the press conference for Mikey versus Errol. And on Instagram, SONTEO_media. Thank you.